The stars twinkled like distant fires as the sleek starship Endeavour approached. Zoria Prime. It was the neutral capital of the Galactic Union, a place where many alien species came together for peace and trade. The city below glittered with towers, made of shining metal and glowing crystals. Ships of all shapes and sizes filled the great spaceport. Inside the Endeavour, Corporal Alex Wren looked out the window. He was one of the youngest soldiers in the human fleet. His brown eyes were wide with curiosity. This was his first time at such an important event, the Peace Summit of the Galactic Union. Humans had joined the Union only a few years ago. They were still new and not fully trusted by the older, powerful races. Many aliens saw humans as wild, unpredictable, or even dangerous. But Alex was proud to represent Earth and its people. "Ready, Corporal?" asked Lieutenant Mira, the team leader. Alex nodded, "Yes, ma'am." They walked out of the ship and onto the bright white platform. The air smelled clean and fresh. The platform was surrounded by guards from different species, all watching carefully. The summit hall was huge. It looked like a giant glass dome, with stars visible all around. Delegates from dozens of planets had gathered. Their faces showed excitement, curiosity, and sometimes fear. At the center of the hall stood a large stage with many flags. The most important was the flag of the Zyrene Empire. The Zyrene were one of the oldest and strongest alien races. They ruled many star systems with their great power. All eyes waited for the arrival of the Zyrene Queen, Xylira. She was a figure of mystery and awe. The story said she was wise, strong, and unchallengeable. No one had ever seen her clothes before. Suddenly, the great doors opened. A hush fell over the crowd. Queen Xylira entered. She was tall, with skin that shimmered like the night sky, and eyes glowing soft blue. Her movements were smooth and powerful. She wore a crown made of crystal and gold. The Queen's voice echoed through the hall as she began her speech. "We gather here to build a future of peace and strength," she said. "The galaxy is large, and many dangers wait. But together, we can face them." Alex listened carefully, felt a strange mix of fear and hope. Could humans really be part of this grand alliance? Suddenly, the Queen stopped speaking. Her body stiffened, her glowing eyes dimmed. Then, without warning, she collapsed to the floor. Gasps and cries filled the hall. Delegates jumped up, stepping back in shock. Guards rushed forward, but the Queen did not move. The chief medic arrived quickly, pushing through the crowd. She scanned the Queen's body with a small device. "No signs of injury or poison," she said, her voice tense. The Queen's breathing was shallow but steady. "Is it a fainting spell?" a delegate asked nervously. "No," the medic replied. "This is something different." Alex felt a cold sweat on his neck. The tension in the room grew thick. Some aliens whispered about sabotage. Others looked at the humans with suspicion. The Union leaders quickly locked the doors. "No one leaves until we understand what happened," the head of the council announced. Alex looked around. Everyone's eyes were on the collapsed Queen and on the humans. He felt a sudden urge to help. But he was only a soldier, not a doctor or diplomat. Still, he moved closer to the Queen. His heart beat fast. "Stay back," a guard ordered. But Alex stepped forward. He looked at the Queen's face. Despite her strength, she looked fragile. Something was wrong, but what? Alex checked his HUD heads-up display quietly, as he often did during missions. It showed many sensors and data. Suddenly, he noticed a faint pulse, a low-frequency wave, coming from the nearby room. He frowned. He remembered a mission on a distant moon where a similar pulse had caused strange effects on local wildlife and people. He whispered, "Could this be the cause?" The guards ignored him. Alex's curiosity grew. He wanted to understand the mystery before it was too late. Suddenly, the Queen's body twitched slightly. The pulse seemed to weaken near her. Alex realized the pulse might be affecting her brain or nervous system. Someone is attacking her, but not with weapons. He thought the room was silent except for the hum of machines and the Whispers of the crowd. The medics continued their work but could not find a clear cause. Alex glanced at the other delegates. Some looked angry, some scared. The humans were. The only group who did not panic? Alex took a deep breath. "I have to do something," he said quietly to himself. He looked around for a way to find the source of the pulse. The doors stayed locked. The Queen's fate was unknown, and no one knew why she had collapsed. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Union remained sealed tight. Outside, the bustling city of Zoria Prime continued its daily rhythm. But inside, tension filled the air like a heavy storm. Corporal Alex Wren stood near the unconscious Queen Zalira. The Zyrene guards kept watch, their eyes sharp and untrusting. The other delegates whispered anxiously, their voices barely controlled. Medics surrounded the Queen, using advanced machines and scanners to search for any sign of injury or illness, but the machines showed nothing unusual. No wounds, no toxins, no infections. "How can this be?" murmured one of the senior doctors. Alex watched closely. He still felt the strange pulse in the air, a low-frequency wave that seemed to hum, quietly but steadily. Is it normal for a ruler like this to collapse without cause? A nearby diplomat asked, his voice tense. "No," replied the lead medic. "Her physiology is strong. She should be able to withstand much more." The Zyrene counselor, tall and fierce-looking, stepped forward. His voice cut through the whispers. "This is sabotage. The humans must be responsible. They arrived just before this happened." A few heads turned toward Alex and his team. The humans had just started their first official mission within the Union. The Zyrene were proud and suspicious. They did not like being questioned. Alex's heart pounded. He was only a soldier, trained for combat and survival, not diplomacy or politics, but he felt a strong urge to help. Suddenly, his HUD beeped softly. He glanced down at the display, and there it was again, the faint pulse. He adjusted the sensors, narrowing the range. "The pulse came from inside the building," Alex whispered. "To Lieutenant Mira, there is a signal, a low-frequency wave. It's affecting the Queen." Mira frowned. "Are you sure?" "This is not the time for guesses, Corporal." Alex shook his head. "I've seen this before, ma'am. On a mission in the outer colonies, a pulse like this can interfere with brain function." Mira glanced at the Queen's still form. "We need to tell the Council." But before they could speak, the Union leader raised his hand, silencing the crowd. "This is a serious matter. Till we find the cause, no one will leave." The doors locked with a heavy thud. Alex scanned the room again. Other delegates looked pale and uneasy. Some began to feel strange, too, small headaches, dizziness, or fatigue. The pulse was spreading. "Something is happening," Alex said aloud. "It's not just the Queen." One of the alien diplomats swayed and had to hold on to the railing. A murmur of alarm swept through the crowd. The medics rushed to help. Their scanners showed no cause. Alex moved carefully through the crowd. Watching the signal's strength rise, he realized the source had to be nearby. He remembered the room next to the hall, a small chamber where communication bots usually stayed. Quietly, he walked toward the door. Lieutenant Myra caught up too. "Where are you going?" "I think the source is near there. The pulse is strongest here." Mira nodded. "Be careful." They opened the door slowly. Inside, rows of sleek silent machines stood along the walls. Communication bots, used to translate and transmit messages for the Union. Alex's HUD showed the pulse stronger here than anywhere else. One bot in the corner blinked strangely, its lights flickering on and off. "Look at that one," Alex said. Mira examined it. "It's acting oddly. It's malfunctioning." Alex knelt and placed his hand near the bot. "I don't think it's a malfunction. Someone hacked it. It's sending the pulse." Mira's eyes widened. Who would do this? And why? Before Alex could answer, the room's door slammed shut. "Behind them, locked in," Mira said grimly. The pulse grew stronger. Alex's HUD buzzed sharply. "We need to stop this before it gets worse," said Mira. Scanned the bot. "I can try to shut it down, but it could trigger an alarm." Alex looked around. The walls had ports for neural interfaces, devices that allowed direct connection to the bots. He turned to Myra. I can connect and try to disable the signal. But it might be dangerous. Mira hesitated. Are you sure? You don't know what this could do to your mind. Alex nodded. If it's causing this to the Queen and others, I have to try. He sat down and connected his neural implant to the bot's port. A wave of energy pulsed through his body. Alex's vision flickered. He felt pressure in his head, like static noise. He focused on the signal, searching for its source code. Slowly, he traced the pulse's pattern. It was a complex program not made by the Union, but by someone else. Someone had reactivated a dangerous technology called Echo-Veil. Alex remembered hearing about Echo Veil in old military files. It was an experimental device designed to block or confuse brain signals. It was shut down years ago because of its dangers. But now, one was using it to target the Union's leaders. Alex fought the painful waves of the signal. His neural implant struggled to keep up suddenly. The bot's lights flickered once, then stopped. The pulse weakened. Alex gasped. Pulling the connection, Mira helped him up. Outside the room, the symptoms began to fade. Strength. The Queen's breathing became steadier, but she still did not wake. Alex looked at Mira. We need to find out who did this. Mira nodded, and fast. This could tear the Union apart. As the doors unlocked, Alex stepped into the hall. The council stared at him, a simple human soldier who had stopped a mysterious attack. Who are you? One asked. Just someone who wants to help, Alex said quietly. The mystery was not over. It was only the beginning. The Great Hall of the Galactic Union slowly returned to a tense calm. The strange pulse was gone, but the mystery remained. Queen Zalira still lay unconscious, and no one knew why. Corporal Alex Wren sat quietly in a small corner of the council chamber. His mind raced with questions. How could such a powerful queen be brought down by a hidden signal? He wondered. Lieutenant Mira approached him with a tablet in hand. Alex, the council has agreed to give you access to the archives. They want you to help find out what happened. Alex looked up surprised. Me? Why me? Because you were the only one who understood the signal and stopped it, Mira said, and the Queen's condition is worsening. Time is short. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. The archives were a vast data library deep below the city. Rows of glowing panels and endless files stretched into the distance. Alex entered the room and sat before a terminal. His fingers moved. Quickly over the controls, he searched for anything related to the mysterious pulse, something that could explain what had attacked the Queen. Hours passed as he sifted through old records. Finally, he found a folder labeled Project Echo Veil. He opened it carefully. The files showed secret experiments from decades ago. Humans had developed Echo Veil as a weapon to block enemy neural systems, using low-frequency waves. But the project was shut down because it caused serious brain damage in tests. Alex's heart quickened. This matches the signal I saw. Said aloud suddenly, an alert flashed on the screen. Unauthorized activity detected. Before he could react, the terminal shut down. Alex frowned. Someone did not want these files found. He looked around, but the room was empty. He knew the archives were not as safe as they seemed. Outside, council met urgently. Queen Zeliera's condition was growing worse. Her breathing became shallow, and her skin lost its glow. The Union leaders were desperate. Alex returned to the chamber. I found something important, he said. The pulse comes from an old human project at Veil. This was designed to disrupt brain function. Council murmured in shock. But why would someone use it now? And against the Queen? Asked one elder. Alex shook his head. I don't know yet, but the signal is strong and spreading. Others are affected too, Lieutenant Mira added. Several delegates report headaches and weakness. This could end the summit. Suddenly an aide rushed in. Sir, more readings show the signal is growing. It's not just in this building anymore. It's spreading through the city's communication network. Alex's eyes widened. That means someone reactivated the technology remotely. This is a deliberate attack. The council fell silent. Then Queen Zeliera's eyes fluttered open. Weak and confused, she whispered the veil. It is not natural. It hides an enemy. Alex stepped forward carefully. Your Majesty, can you tell us who is behind this? Cellier's voice was faint. The Kravik, shadows in the stars. Trying to break the Union, the Kravik were a secretive and dangerous race. They were known enemies of peace and order. Alex felt the tension grow. The Queen's warning was clear. The Council agreed to begin a full investigation. Alex volunteered to help find the source of the attack. He knew the risks, but he felt ready. As he left the chamber, he thought, if the Kravik want war, they will have to face humanity's courage. The city of Zoria Prime shimmered under the twin suns. But inside the halls of the Galactic Union, the atmosphere was heavy with tension. The mysterious pulse that had collapsed Queen Zalira was only the beginning. Now the question hung in the air. Who was behind this attack? Corporal Alex Wren walked through the winding corridors, his mind sharp and alert. With Lieutenant Myra by his side, he was determined to find the source of the attack and stop it before it was too late. The Queen's words echoed in his mind. The Kravik shadows in the stars, ... The Kravik were known as masters of stealth and sabotage, enemies of the Union's peace. They worked in the dark, striking without warning. Alex and Mira arrived at the communication center, a large room filled with consoles and buzzing machines. The walls were lined with data streams and holographic displays. It was here that the pulse seemed to originate. Alex's HUD flashed as he scanned the systems. The signal is coming from inside this room, he said. Mira nodded, her eyes narrowed. Someone hacked the communication bots again. But this time, it's more advanced. As they moved closer to a row of sleek bots, Alex noticed one blinking irregularly. That one, he said. It's still active. Alex crouched and connected his neural implant to the bot's interface, carefully bypassing security protocols. The signal was strong and complex, focused, tracing the digital footprints. Suddenly, the door behind them hissed and locked. Mira reached for her communicator. They trapped us. Alex didn't panic. Stay calm. We can find another way. Out. His fingers moved quickly over the bot's controls. I'm going to try to disable the signal from the source. The bot's lights flickered. Alex felt the familiar pressure in his mind as the neural pulse fought back. Hold on, he said, gritting his teeth. With a final effort, he severed the connection. The signal stopped. The door clicked open. Myra stood, relieved. That should stop the pulse for now. But Alex knew it was not the end. The Kravik won't give up easily, he said. We need to find who gave the order. Back in the council chamber, Alex presented the evidence. The hacked bot was a tool. The real enemy is hidden, he said. We must look deeper into the Union's security, the council agreed. A team was assembled to search for the hidden enemy. Alex joined the team, using his skills to analyze communications and data trails. Days passed. Finally, they found a clue. A secret transmission sent from a diplomatic bot assigned to the summit. Alex's eyes narrowed. This bot was hacked to send the pulse signal. Mira looked concerned. A diplomatic bot? That means the enemy is very close. The team tracked the bot's location to a small maintenance room beneath the summit hall. Alex led the way inside. They found a complex control panel. The bot stood silent, its lights dim. Alex connected to the panel and downloaded the logs. The data revealed a hidden command, sent remotely from a star system outside the Union, the Kravik Alex said. Quietly. They are trying to break our alliance. Suddenly, the room's lights dimmed. An alarm began to sound. Mira moved to secure the room. We've triggered a trap. The walls shifted, revealing a hidden exit. Alex and the team raced through. The corridor, alarm blaring behind them. They reached the surface, just as security forces arrived. The Union leaders thanked Alex and the team for their bravery. But the danger was not over. Alex knew the Kravik would strike again. He looked too. The stars, feeling a fierce determination. They want to break us, but we will stand stronger. The stars above Zoria Prime looked calm. But deep inside the Galactic Union headquarters, The air was full of worry and silent preparation. Everyone now knew the truth. The mysterious pulse that brought Queen Zalira down was not a random event. It was a carefully planned attack by the Kravik, enemies of peace and unity. Inside the recovery chamber, Queen Zalira lay resting. Her body was still weak, but her mind was returning. The strange signal had almost destroyed her, but thanks to Corporal Alex Wren, she was alive. Alex sat outside her chamber, quietly watching the guards. His mind was tired, but he couldn't relax. He knew the fight wasn't over. The Kravik had made their move, and they would strike again. Corporal Lieutenant Mira approached. "We found something. Final signal was sent after you shut down the diplomatic bot. It's a failsafe, a backup pulse." Alex stood. "Where is it coming from?" Mira showed him the map on her device. "From the central broadcast tower. If they activate it, every leader here will collapse. The Union could fall into chaos." Alex clenched his fists. "Then we have to stop it. Now." The final plan, within an hour, a special team was gathered. Alex, Myra, 2 engineers, and a Zyrene tech specialist named Varric. They moved quickly through the underground passages of Zoria Prime, avoiding public eyes. Panic could not be allowed to spread as they neared the broadcast tower. Alex's HUD showed signs of a strange energy wave, weaker than before, but growing. "It hasn't fully activated yet," Alex said. "We still have time." Inside the tower, they found the control room sealed. The main panel was protected by Kravik code. Varric stepped forward. "Let me try. I know their language." The alien's long fingers danced across the keys. Symbols flashed and beeped. Suddenly, the screen turned green. "We're in," Varric said. But before they could shut it down, a loud warning buzzed. A hologram appeared, a Kravik face, cold and sharp. "You are too late," the voice hissed. "The Akoval will spread again. It's time no human can stop it." Alex stepped forward, eyes narrowed. "You made a mistake. You underestimated us." He connected his neural implant to the main control hub. "Alex, no," Mira warned. "That signal could kill you." "I don't care," he replied. "If we lose the Union now, everything we've built will fall apart." Alex's mind linked to the system. Instantly, waves of painful pressure hit his brain. The Akoval was already working. He pushed forward, focusing on the rhythm of the signal. He remembered his training, how to control fear, how to find order in chaos. He saw the source, a Kravik-written loop, constantly rewriting itself to stay alive. But Alex was faster, using human coding. He created a counter-signal, a wave that moved in perfect opposite rhythm. The feedback hit the system hard. Sparks flew from the panel. Outside the tower, lights flickered all over Zoria Prime, and then silence. The Queen wakes in the Union medical wing. Queen Zalira opened her eyes fully for the first time since the attack. Her glow returned. She sat up slowly, and her guards bowed in deep respect. She spoke softly. "Is it over?" The doctor nodded. "Yes, Your Majesty." Thanks to a human soldier, Zalira stood on weak legs. "Then I must see him." An unexpected honor back in the central hall. The delegates of the Galactic Union gathered once more. The mood was tense but hopeful. Word had already spread of the Kravik plot and how it was stopped. When Alex entered the hall with Mira and the team, the crowd stood in silence. Queen Zalira, now strong and tall again, stood at the center of the stage. She looked directly at Alex. "Corporal Wren," she said in her clear, powerful voice, "you are a soldier of a young race. But today, you have shown the wisdom of the ancients, the courage of warriors, and the heart of true peacekeepers." Alex blinked. He wasn't used to such praise. Zalira stepped closer and did something no one expected. She bowed slightly. To him, the room gasped. The Zyrene Queen had never bowed to anyone outside her people. "You saved not only me," she continued, "but the entire Union." A cheer erupted in the hall. Delegates of all species clapped, whistled, and waved their hands or tendrils in their own cultural signs of respect. A Union elder approached with a small medal in a glowing case. "This is the Star of Unity." said, "Given only to those who act not for their own world, but for all." He handed it to Alex. Alex held the medal carefully. He looked around at the smiling faces, the respectful nods, the hope in every eye. He cleared his throat. "I didn't come here to be a hero. I'm just a soldier. I acted because I saw something wrong, and I couldn't walk away." "Just what humans do." The crowd laughed gently, warmly. "But I hope this shows that humanity isn't here to conquer or control," he continued. "We're here to stand beside all of you, to protect, to help, to belong." Peace renewed in the days that followed. Security across the Union was strengthened. The Kravik plot was exposed, and investigations began on every planet. The Union stayed united, stronger than ever before. Queen Zalara visited Earth weeks. Later, the first Irene monarch to do so. She gave a speech at the United Planetary Council, saying, "Humanity has reminded us of something important, that courage does not belong to the powerful alone. It belongs to those who act when it matters most." As for Alex Wren, he was offered a place as Union envoy, a diplomat for peace, but he refused politely. "I'm just a soldier," he said, "and there are more battles ahead, not with weapons, but with truth, with unity, and with heart." He returned to duty, not as a hero in fancy halls, but as a protector of peace among the stars. And across the galaxy, the story was told. Again and again, no one knew why the alien queen collapsed until the human soldier stepped in.